Good evening. Ooh, do we have a lot to talk about tonight? First of all, cover your ears, because I'm not sure how loud this is going to be, and it may deafen some people, but I just want to try something, so get ready. You're going to get a 5-second warning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just checking that for Thursday. You hear me twice. Why do you hear me twice? Do other people hear me twice? Every time I run this bloody thing, something new. It's Christoph on the Discord call. Look at you, two best buds, watching the stream together. There we go. Yeah, so I've got this ready. Does that come through? So we'll, is that coming through? Yeah, it's coming through. Good. Right. I can see that on my, I'm going to mainly use that for Thursday. I'm slowly adding to my stream deck with some fancy buttons and whatnot. So, right. We are here. Should probably do a proper introduction rather than just rambling. It will be constant beep beep. Yeah, just you wait. Oh dear, that was fun. Not a professional streamer. Right, so last night we had round 3 of the PLR World Tour, Season 4 of 2022, which was a steward and admin's favourite double sprint race from Donington with mixed weather. It seems there was a lot less rain generally than people were expecting. Lots of incidents across all 3 splits, actually. Unfortunately, I only stopped work 15 minutes ago. Technically, I haven't stopped yet. So I was going to potentially throw some Split 1 stuff in here tonight, but we'll stick with Split 2 and Split 3 because there's plenty going on. Unfortunately, Liam can't be with us tonight, as he was down in London today for some tests and whatnot. So let's follow the Split 3 pole sitter on the lap, shall we? As we settle in for the evening. So what happened in Split 3? Was it a dry at the start quali and then started raining? Because I can see like no laps set in the middle here by James. Either he was super happy with his 1 lap, or it started raining. I'm not entirely sure. Rained up, yeah, okay, yeah. So that makes sense. Weirdly, in Split 2, it was completely dry the whole time. The closest we got was the start of race 1 was greasy, but I think the track went fast after about 2 laps. So, yeah, all those people who set up mixed kind of setups waiting for rain didn't happen in Split 2. I'm not sure if it rained in Split 1 or not. I think it did a bit. Oh, thanks, Paul, for deciding you should say hi. Congratulations on your job and your uni offer. Well done. God, I'm so old now, uni. How far am I out of uni? I'm almost as far out of uni as you are old, Paul. I think that's a worry. Those are the days where I could drink and not have a hangover for 4 days. Now I just drink and have a hangover for 4 days, so keep drinking. Right. Well done, James, there on your... Was that your pole lap? Yeah, that was your pole lap. So that's put you... We should have put you... Oh, is this your pole lap? No, there we go. You've popped at the top there now. Well done. How old am I? It's always a problem. You know how old you are when you have to think about how old you are. 36. I am 36 years young. Old enough. I'm sure to some people I'm still young. Hi Dale. But I know I'm older than Oh, I wouldn't say a good chunk, but you know, I'm certainly not young, as we do a very professional look for the race I want to show you. It is that one. A baby. There we go. Yeah, I knew you'd say that, Enrico. I'm still younger than some. I can tell you I do not feel young. I went to the gym today and that was a horrible mistake. Right. Let's do a grid walk, shall we? Even though there's 2 races, I only need to do 1 grid walk because it's 1 grid for both. I know, I act like such a grumpy old fart, Dave. I come across older on Discord than I am. I'm 36 body age, 76 grumpy age. I'm just a cynical old bastard at heart. That's what happens when you run a league. It turns you very cynical very quickly. Right. How many people turn up in split 3? 25. That's not too bad considering we start with 30 odd. Right. Congratulations, Mr. Smagglesgale, with your pole position. Stefan Hechtel, P2. Callum, you qualified. Well done. So Callum Wells-Fry not starting from the back in this race, starting from P3. Yuri Stickfort, P4. Roberto de Robertus, P5. Ryan Reed, P6. Nice. Change the livery again, Ryan. Herman, P7. Idziak, P8. James Terry. Is he the first of the Delta Hunters? I think he might be. P9. Axel up in P10. Congratulations. Good evening, Dane. How you doing? Mr. Yilmaz is back with us in P11 with probably quite a sizable time penalty to start this race. Felipe Diaz, P12. Calgaro, P13. Buttons, 14th. Van Eltron, 15th. Osric, 16th. David Blythe, 17th. We'll be seeing some more of him later. Enrico's in P18. Watt, 19th. Deary, 20th. Crowther, 21st. Kirkby, 22nd. I think some people may have got called out by qualifying. Morna, 23rd. Boyan Slavchev, 24th. And Jaden Harrison. Is it Jaden? I think it's Jaden. 25th. I got through it before the race started. Oh, beautiful. I'm getting better. 66. Well, just 3 more years, Enrico, and you've made it to the hallowed land. See, I can be old and still a young baby. At the same time. Right. I'm older but better. Well, I don't think anyone could dispute that, Dan. Right. I need to look at my little spreadsheet because there's been a lot of stuff put in. I don't know whether we have Axel in chat. Axel, you put something in, you didn't tell me which race it was, so I don't know whether it was race 1 or race 2. So coming together with Mr. Van Eltron. It's on lap 11, so we'll look this lap and this race. If not, we'll change it and make it next race. But yeah, if you could on the double headers put a race in, that would be useful. I think all splits were a bit Mario Karty, unfortunately. Everything's still better than multiclass, though. I can assure you that much. The stewards report multiclass is it's something. Right. This is why I don't like the sprint races. The sprint races create chaos. But we used to have 2 a season, which... Oh! What are you doing? You right there, bud? Come on, Jaden. Catch up with everyone. Right. Now I need to find what laps I'm looking at with all of this. Okay, so we've got 4 lap 1 incidents. Okay. Cool. So, we'll start with Mr. Hechtel. Yeah, I had an eventful time last night in Split 2. My second and last race of the season. Yes, well, I haven't seen a certain Mr. Kent in chat yet. I wonder if you're lurking, Lewis. We'll get to you. Yeah, you're a sprint race specialist, are you, Sebastian? Saw you were you P2 in race 1 as well? I think, because I was on a chat with Greg and he was P3 and P4. And was behind you. I know you had a good battle with Tommy. Yes, Lewis was on good form last night. If you want a hint of what not to do as a driver, punting the owner of the league on the last corner of the last lap and causing them to lose 5 positions. I would not recommend that. Just as a general rule. I mean, don't punt anyone, but if you're going to choose someone to punt, maybe don't punt the owner of the league. Right, anyway, we're going to get... I hate the coming around this corner here. There we go. Well, very tense. I mean, it's not live, so it doesn't really work, but let's watch Mr. Hetchel, who unfortunately goes wide here, keeps the power down, which is not recommended, comes across and takes out Callum. It's split 3, Dane. It's supposed to be slow. But yeah, as a kind of general rule, if you go wide, which he's done here, don't keep your foot in, because that's... So I'll give you... Now, I'm not a split 3 steward, but he's not going to get away with that as a racing incident. There's a couple of other things that happen which are similar, which we'll look at, which may be a racing incident. But because he keeps his foot in the whole time and commits to, going full power off the track to try and keep his place, that's not going to be a racing incident. But yeah, Callum can do nothing. He leaves space and he just comes across and absolutely bonks him. He avoids the wall though, which is good. Right, what else do I have to look at? I've got to look at a couple. Yeah, so there's another one that happens further back, which causes this. So this is an interesting one as well. It's one of those Delta Hunters again. First of all, Osric nearly kills his teammate. I think that's Osric, is it? Behind him? Yeah, it's Osric. Then he kills him. And then we've got... Who is this? This is Van Elteren and Buttons. So Van Elteren in the white Porsche here. Nope. Buttons in the white Porsche. Van Elteren on the inside. Now... So they're close there, and they're actually kind of 3 wide because Fraser Watt's sticking his nose in up there. It's lap 1, turn 1, you're going to get stuff like this. And Hutton's goes out on the green stuff, which is actually kind of the line on the T1 at Donington. And Van Elteren leaves in space. You can see there's space there. You can see Diaz ahead is on the green stuff. But unfortunately, Buttons loses it. Let's go on board. But this is probably going to be a racing incident because he's not off track, he's on the line, and unfortunately he just loses it there. And then, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's not. We'll go back. It's not. Who's out on the inside again? Van Elteren's fault. He leaves in space. He's done absolutely nothing wrong there. It's not Watt's fault on the inside. That's just as we see someone get murdered further behind. I think that one's just one of those things. That's unfortunate. But that's the difference between something that will probably go down as a racing incident and something that may not. What else have we got here? I've got Harrison and Slouch. Oh, is that also at the start? I looked at these this morning. I can't even remember what they are. He's already got a drive-through. So Harrison's had a fantastic start. I think he drives into the back of. Oh no, that's right. It's Slavchev into the back of him, which is quite impressive. Yeah, that's one of those unfortunate things. I think I personally don't put any blame there on Buttons or any of the other drivers. This one's a little bit strange as well. So you'll see. First time I watched this from kind of a different camera angle, I thought Slavchev had just gone full throttle into Harrison. But he hasn't. He's off the things, but Harrison actually brakes. You could argue he doesn't need to brake, maybe. But because he brakes, Slav just goes into the back of him. It'll be interesting to see what the stewards think of that one. Should Slavchev have been more aware going slower? I don't think he was already off the throttle, so it's a tough one. Right, let's follow this through. I'm not sure whether Liam's here yet, but Liam's going to get in trouble. Naughty boy. So it even happens to admins. Yeah, I think that's right. I think he saw the brake lights ahead, so also hit the brakes where he didn't actually need to hit the brakes. Unfortunately, that meant he got smashed from behind. So my initial take on that is that's probably not Slavchev's fault as a racing incident. Like I said, he's off the throttle, so he's already slowing down as through the nasty chicane we come. So this is an interesting one. So I think it's funny. I saw this come up on the race control app. So the app we run. Yes, because we had a Fraser Watt dive here. That's it. So you can watch the Fraser Watt dive. He manages to avoid everyone. I mean, he actually makes the corner, to be fair. So yeah, that's an interesting one. But then Crowther's obviously lost speed. And then what Liam tries to do is duck up the inside. And you all probably saw lots of this last night, where obviously there's about 3 ways around this hairpin. You know, late apex, stay tight, double apex, all that kind of stuff. No way Watt left enough room through that chicane. I think I disagree, actually. Considering you cut that... It's not as bad as it first looks, I'll put it that way. And he's made the corner is actually ahead, but yeah. Anyway, Crowther comes round here, and then unfortunately, boop. So Liam waits, but yes, when this first came in, I was like, oh, Crowther, because poor old Shane has not had a great start to the season with instance. Karma has paid him back in this race. In both race 1 and race 2, he gets murdered. As we see someone pitting away. So that one's definitely on Liam. So even admins make mistakes. And that's why people need to stop getting their knickers in the twist quite so much when none of deliberate incidents happen. It's the repeated ones where people don't learn where you're allowed to get angry. And there are certain drivers in both splits that are getting on the cusp of... Hello. Well, that looks like an interesting rejoin. Oh, that's fine. They're getting on the cusp of having further action taken. Oh, yes. So Fraser's had an interesting first lap or so, hasn't he? Launches it up the inside here. That's fine. Goes a bit wide here. Can't get it turned in. He's off the throttle, which is good. On a little bit. He just does a little blip there. I think Huttons has put this into the stewards. So this goes back to the chat we were having right at the start, because he does the right thing to begin with. Well, I've gone way too far back. He does the right thing to begin with, so he gets... This pass is fine. Unfortunately, he goes a little bit far left here. Gets kind of caught on the grass. He needs to come off the throttle earlier there to get back on the track. But now he's off the throttle. So up till half a second before this point, he's fine. He just needs to keep off the throttle and get back on the track on the inside, because all the cars, the racing line's on the right-hand side. So he can quite safely join on the left-hand side here. Unfortunately, he does a little blip. It's not massive. It's not kind of full throttle. He just does a little blip there. Because I think he thinks he's got it under control. Unfortunately, not quite so much. And that's quite a big hit. Does he quit? He doesn't quit after this, but so it's that little blip, which unfortunately I think is going to make that not a racing incident, because he's taken the well, I think it depends, because Adam, I think VTech is Adam, right? It's the change from being either on throttle or off throttle, right? It's the being consistent between what you're doing. Because if he stays off throttle here the whole time, he's got it under control. He's gonna be fine. It's changing from, because he's got it under control off throttle here. So I have no problem with him being off throttle. He should be off throttle. He loses it when he puts the throttle in again. So it's that change from either being, I guess, if you go off the track and you never go fully off throttle and you're kind of keeping it 20 to keep that consistency, that's also fine. It's the sudden changes between being off throttle or not on throttle, and never ever keep it 100% on throttle. It's one of those things you learn, right? It's never nice being off track and thinking you've caught it and then realising, oh shit, I haven't. Right. What else have I got here? I've got some other lap 2s. I've got Enrico just saying crash. Doesn't tell me where. Do you remember where it was, Enrico? I mean, we'll just watch Enrico's lap and just watch crash. Not yet. Where is the person who crashes you? He's a little bit ahead of you. Oh, okay. I'm guessing it's going to be around here. Good. Nothing wrong with this so far. After chicane. Well, we could talk about a bit about the track. Donington, I have an interesting relationship with Donington. I hate this corner. I can never seem to keep it full throttle around there. I get oversteer. It shows you how shit I am at setups. After chicane, you're going to get a nice run out. Oh, he's lost it about the chicane. He's going to... Oh, dearie, dearie. Mr. Blythe has not had a good lap there, has he? Again, doesn't look deliberate, but... Just, yeah, loses it, tries to catch it. Oh. Again, I'd argue... Look at the throttle inputs here. He's lost it, and he's still trying to... Oh, he was full throttle. They're trying to get it... Yeah. Again, God, the split 3... Yeah, probably a racing incident. Anyway, he's trying to catch it, isn't he? He's not off track. And unfortunately for you, you've chosen the wrong side. Because when you see that, and you're like, okay, he's going right, so I'm going to go left. But he's caught it and then headed left. And then you have nowhere to go. It's one of the most annoying things to happen in a lap 1 of the race where... Okay, that's fine. You get taken out through no fault of your own, and also kind of no fault of the other person. Okay, and I need to go find Mr. Osric, who had that interesting start, and then we need to pop back Let's watch you from here. There's Fraser, there's Hutton's. Got to love to see the aftermath of some of these incidents. Ooh, easy. Especially at Donington. Donington's one of those tracks where you see so many cars going wide so often. T1, down to the old hairpin. Around both of these corners, cars can get snap oversteers. I saw plenty of cars on that in that barrier in the right hand side in split 2. Nice little dive. You can get snap oversteer out of here, down towards the chicane. As we just saw with Mr. Blythe, you can lose it out of the chicane. Bentley taking that like a champ almost. And a bit deep. Osric's done the over-under there. Very nice. Just going to try and do him out the inside. See, this is all very respectful, very nice. Good job, you two. Enjoyed that. Oh. And there's Mr. Crowd. Stay away from him. Right. Oh, there's another one as well. Oh god, it's all the Delta Hunters streaming past you there, Paul. They hunt in packs. There we go. Right. What am I going to next? Lap 11 maybe. You like to see that. Well, to be fair, some of the split 1 drivers need learner plates on the back of them as well, so it goes both ways. A couple of split 2 drivers need it as well. Right, let's go see whether Axel has told us the right race, shall we? Where are you, Mr. Axel? He is here. We'll jump forward to lap 11. We do have 4 races to get through tonight, people, and I am by myself, so right, so we've got Axel Ittrey and Mr. Van Elteren. I think this might be race 2. Let's just skip to the end here. You are nowhere near anyone there. Let's go back a lap, make sure you're not near anyone here. Go forward a lap, make sure you're totally the right... Oh, you're close to someone here. But that looks fine. Okay, no. So that's going to be race number 2. Good. Right, so we are about halfway through at this point. How many laps are there? 22 laps are on lap 12. So we've got Mr. Smagglesgale leading the way. Herman Nazi German in P2. How far behind is he? About 2.5 seconds. Ryan Reed is P3 and his non-liveried McLaren. Mr. Stickvort is in P4. Roberto, I swear, I think this is Roberto's second race with us. He seems to qualify P5 or P6 and race in P5 or P6. Very consistent. But here he is in P5. You got Seb Idziak right behind him, part of the Brunch Bunch. That's probably why Alexander knows about the weather in Split 2. I assume you two are friends. Otherwise, delivery makes no sense and I'm very confused. So he's P6. James Terry leading the Delta Hunters in P7. Callum in P8 after his T1 adventure with Mr. Hechtel. Felipe Morna from the back of the pack up to P9. So he's made some good progress. Felipe Diaz in that very distinctive Lamborghini is P10. He's just a fan. That's Axel Ittrey, P11. Hechtel, after getting into P1 at the start, making his way back through now, down in P12. Van Elteren at P13. Calgaro is P14. Osric Major, P15. David Blythe, P16. Buttons, 17th. Slavchev, 18th. So something's happened to Shane. They were all together a minute ago, but he's down in 19th now. Harrison 20th, Kirkby 21st, Deary just checking the grass there in P22, Yilmaz P23, Enrico after his incident P24, and Fraser Watt down in P25 after a big old smash in lap 2, and here he is chasing Hutton's buttons again, but he is a lap or 2 down. Right. We've got an interesting one next, chat. I would be interested to see what chat thinks about this one. We have a lapping incident, one of my favourites. And in race 2, I think we've got some flashing incidents. But so let's find the two in question. I've looked at this, and I'm not sure there's any blame to be had. If anything, and I hate to say this, I think it might be on Liam. But it is lap... Oh, it is this lap. Okay, so let's go back up here. Now, there's a couple of things I want to talk about here. So Yuri makes a... Yuri... Okay. Well, I didn't know that happened. What? Whose fault is this? It's Stigfault's. He's completely missed the apex there. Okay, good. Okay, so Yuri's hit. I assume that was Roberto? I think that was Roberto. Now, there's Liam up ahead going into T1. He lets some cars through, which is his right to do. Again, I'm going to pause it here. This is not F1. You do not have to let cars through lapping, or you just can't block. If you want to let cars through in a safe manner, which I think Liam was just getting out of the way there because there's a lot of cars coming up, and he, made the decision to pull to the inside and let them through. His choice. You don't have to let cars through, or you just can't block or defend, or yada yada yada. It's often easier to make it easy for them to pass you because they are lapping you after all, but you don't have to. So there's no God-given right for the car behind to just drive through. Anyway, I think Mr. Stickfault sees that, and he probably thinks Liam's going to do the same to him, which isn't quite the case. And they come down here. Yuri a lot more confident through there. So now you can see what's going to happen here, can't you? Take a guess, chat. What's about to happen? So Liam's on. Maybe Yuri's on the racing line, but I mean the racing line kind of is on the right. It starts on the left, goes to the right, and then heads back to the left again, right? Because you're about to chunk through that left-hand side. Yuri takes the racing line, sure, but Liam's also on it, and he's not doing anything wrong. So Yuri comes across. I'm going to slow this down. I'm going to do the thing I hate. Off. Now. Oh, wrong one. I'd be interested to know your thoughts, chat. I have views on this. So that hurts him quite a lot. I think it hurts Yuri quite a lot as well. I want to find the actual point of impact. So it's there. Now, Liam does start coming across a little bit, but I mean that's quite a big contact. That's not a clip. That is, that's wheel to wheel. I'm not entirely sure what else Liam is supposed to do here. Yeah. I think I've changed my mind again. Initially, I thought, is that on Liam? Because he does make a little left turn, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on. First lap one was on Liam, but this one, unfortunately, I think is on Mr. Stickfault because he does not need to be there. As he comes through, he can just keep left and kink through and be well through. There's no need to be that far right. Yep, I agree. And Liam doesn't have to get out of the way, as we said. So, unfortunately for Liam, that's a very destroyed Bentley. Yeah, okay, cool. There we go. So unfortunately, both drivers reported that because, and then we'll see in race 2 that unfortunately Mr. Stigford is not very happy with Mr. Deary, but I don't think he's done anything wrong there. I'm glad we're all agreed. So if Yuri's sometimes here, unfortunately, Yuri, that democracy has spoken. Okay. Now we have lap 17, Fraser Watts. Okay. Oh, it's this lap, is it? Yes. It's not lap 17. Or was it lap 17? Ah, because he's 4 laps down. That's right. Right. This is why, one of the reasons why I did the post on the channel earlier. I'll go back a bit here. And we're going to count how many times Fraser Watt flashes Hutton's buttons. Where's the... Give me the rear wing. Oh no, why would they let me do the rear wing? Oh, that's disappointing. Can I see it from Fraser's point of view? Oh, what I can do is this, right? I can fix the camera. We can watch. Where's the... How's it gonna... There we go. Right, 1. So it's like Sesame Street, we're gonna... 1 flash! Ha ha ha! By the way, Fraser's 2 laps down. 2 flash! Ha ha ha! 3 flash! 4 flash! 5 flash! Wait for it. Wait for it. 6 flash. How many? Are we going to get double figures? 7 flash. 8 flash. He's got to do 2 more by the end of the lap. 9 flash. Go on. Before the final corner, give us the 10th. We want 10. We want 10. Yes! 10 flashes. Is he going to give us a football team? Give us an 11th before the... Oh, I thought he was going to give us a punt to round it off. There we go, 11 flashes. 12 flashes. We're going to get one before T1? No. Okay, right. So, you get the point. Yeah. So somebody's getting a talking to. That's ridiculous. And like I said in the Discord chat, the rules are there. You will be treated as if you read them because you were told to read them, and they've been there the whole time. If you can't abide by them, you will be penalised. So Fraser, if you're watching this, get ready. It's not going to go well for you. Right. Next. Oh, yeah. It's just... it's... Yeah. We do see certain drivers quite fond of the... there does seem to be a correlation between people who like flashing and drive in a certain way, unfortunately. Right. We've only got a few laps left, so what have we got? Spangles Gale still leading the way. He's now pulled up to 4 seconds from Herman. Ryan Reed still P3. Roberto P4. Itziat P5. James Terry P6. Callum up to P7. Morna right behind him. Yuri down to P9. Diaz P10. Axel P11. Followed by Van Elteren. Good little battle this. Van Elteren and Echtel. Calgaro P14. David Blythe P15. Osric 16th. Hutton still being followed by Fraser Watt in P17. Boyan Slavchev P18. Shane Crowther P19. Harrison P20. Yilmaz 21. Kirk P22. Itri 23. There is Fraser in P24 and Liam in the pits. But nobody's quit the service. That's always good to see. Yeah, 3 laps down. Right, lap 20, Yuri Stigwald. Where is my man? There he is. Right, what do I have here? I have... Okay, so apparently... Is that Mr. Crowther in front? It is. Okay. I have a feeling this might be the next lap we need to look at. Let's press on. Oh, okay, so, right, we got it from down here, right. So we got Stickful lapping Crowther at this hairpin. And Crowther goes wide, so no issues there. Well, that was stupid. Oh, that's worse. Okay. Gonna need a second here. That's a lock-up, surely. Why are you racing somebody who's lapped you? You take it. Look, he's taken the inside line. Why is he not on the racing line out here? You know, why is he not just following the car that's just lapped him? There's no need for him to be here. If he was behind him and he locked up, he'd just go to the outside and not kill anyone. Unfortunately, he's at this point as well. Like, is he turning? Oh, he is turning. Okay, I'll give him that. You probably need to come off the brakes to actually turn. But you know, he's caused this himself by not being on the right-hand side. He's up the inside. There's no reason to be there. And then this is. I'm willing to give a little bit of leeway here. Because Felipe decides to overtake him on the grass. So, what can he see coming over? I mean, can he even see that in car? Not really. He can't see that. Okay. Yeah, and then there's a car there. So, I'm probably willing to let what happened afterwards go. But unfortunately, not misbraking. He didn't. Felipe took it fine. He can't see the car. He's not expecting a car parked on the apex. And then, unfortunately, he's going to get past. We'll pause it when he's about to get past. He turns in more, and then Shane moves forward. Yeah, I'm happy to give leeway on the second part, mainly because Felipe didn't really impact Felipe, and it's an awkward place to be. But yeah, unfortunately, the first one's on Shane. He had no reason to be up the inside there, even if it was a accidental lock-up. It's one of those things that drivers will learn. And we've got Stickfault's been busy. Alexander, he can't see him. I'm going to go back to this. You can't actually see him on the... So if you go on his driving view... Like, there's no way you can tell me you're racing that and you can tell me there's a car parked on the apex there, because his little A-frame, or whatever it's called, blocks it here. He has no idea there's a car parked on the apex. Well, your reflex is probably... You're not going to flick right there, you're already turning left, you probably just keep turning left. And it would have worked for... It still worked out okay, you got away with it, didn't lose that much time. Going right would have actually... I don't know how you go... How you suddenly flick right and avoid the car right in front of you, which you aren't expecting to move forward. If you go right there, I don't think you're missing him. But anyway, I don't really have too much of a problem with what either of them have done at that point. Just showing off the wolf, yes. Right, and now we've got a lap 21 incident. So I think we need to be watching this man. Is it this lap? I think it's this lap. Maybe not this lap. Maybe next lap. He definitely moved. He moved Osric because we saw him drive forward into drive forward into him. He definitely moved forward. He may have been stalled initially, but he got that engine going and then drove forward. What is happening here? What? What a horrendous place to stop your car. It's like one of those drivers that... No! This is awful. I don't... He's done it on the racing line as well. On the exit of a high-speed chicane. I mean, maybe he's just trying to be nice and let kind of... There's people battling through behind him. But dear God... What a bizarre thing to do. I need to go... Who comes closest to hitting him? Because I want to see... Okay, not him. That's quite close. I think that's the closest, right? Who's that? It's the Yulmans. The Well, I don't understand. He's also lost a place, I think, by doing that. But he's hit the brakes. It's a deliberate. He's deliberately stopped, right? Oh no, he hasn't. You're right. Has he accidentally hit the? Look, he's full throttle. Oh no! He's accidentally... Oh! Okay. Right, so he's accidentally killed his engine. That makes a bit more sense. He needs to pull off the track. Or just, yeah. get further up. You didn't need to hit the brakes there, but I guess you're panicking at that point. You're like, fuck, 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 fuck. Sorry, I mean... right. Wow, that was different. You won at that point, I guess. That's what you come through and say congratulations. Jesus, that was different. Yeah, I have sympathy now that we know what happened, and it wasn't a deliberate weird thing to let cars lap him, which is why it was so confusing. That is just unfortunate. But anyway, congratulations to Mr. Smaggersgale on your win. Pole to first. Very well done indeed. There he goes. Herman Nazi German in P2. Well done to you, more. And Ryan Reed in P3. Then we have Robertus, Sebastian, James Terry, Wells Fry. Managed to keep Morner behind him. Steepvort in an eventful race comes home P9. Diaz P10. Axel looks as though he's going to come home P11. Van Elteren, Calgaro, Hechdel, Blythe, Major, Buttons, Slavchev, Yilmaz. Jaden made it in the end. Crowther, Itri, Kirkby, Watt. There we go. Right, give me 2 seconds. I just need to go check my work email because real life. But you'll survive. Chat amongst yourselves, chat. I'll be literally 1 minute. Okay, we're all good. I haven't been fired. Good, good, good. Well, I'd have more time for PLR if I got fired though. So. Right, let's move on to... Oh my god, it's 10 to 9 and I haven't even got to race 2 of Split 3 yet. Strap yourselves in, lads, it's going to be a long one. And I'm not even drinking tonight, this is disappointing. Right, Split 3, round 3, race 2 is that one. Right, what do we have in race number 2 to look at? We have a number of lap 1 incidents. Oh yes. We get the David Blythe show on lap 1, I think. We also get Liam Deary, Steepvort, the rematch on lap 19. And then we have a lot of... is Mr. Buttons in the chat? There's one incident you haven't told me what lap it's on. And then we've got... Have we got Osric and Paul again? Or... Have you had the same... Osric, did you have the same battle with Paul in both races? Or have you just accidentally put it in twice? Right, okay. We're not going to do a grid walk, we've already done one of those, so we'll save some time there. Let's plonk ourselves up here. Okay, so I can ignore that one. Good, 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 good. One less thing. Right, so we have, I know where we need to start this one. Right, where is my friend? We've got a new friend in race 2, chat. Oh, don't worry, Enrico, I've got you here, don't worry. I picked this up this morning on He does far worse later in the lap as well. Not that it really helps you, but right, Mr. Blythe. Let's crack on a bit. Right. Ooh. Hang on a minute. What the fuck is going on here? What is this? What? Split 3, what are you doing? What is this? Let me try and figure this out. What? Who is where and why? So that's... I mean, that's also weird. Mr. Stickford is not in the right spot. No, Hechtel's ahead somehow. Okay, anyway. So that's kind of okay. What the devil is happening back here? So there's Enrico. So Enrico looks like he's in the right spot. Fraser... Okay, so Blythe should be further forward. And then Fraser should be there. Who should be here? Liam should be further forward. And then he'd be next to Crowther. Fuck knows. One car in the pits. Ah. So that might be one of those gaps, right? Is that Mr. Harrison in the pits? Is he given up after? Is he trying to find his ignition switch? Yeah, okay. But I think he qualified last anyway, so that shouldn't really impact things. Is he supposed to be in front of? Did he maybe? I'll tell you what, I can look. I've got SGP. What am I talking about? Where did he qualify? He didn't qualify. He didn't set a qualifying time. So no, he shouldn't be in front of Liam. The person in front of Liam should be Enrico, which is there. So I don't know. According to SGP, it's Enrico who's at the bottom right here. Then Fraser. No, hang on. Enrico. So Fraser is in completely the wrong spot. He's somehow behind 57, but 57 should be ahead. No, okay. Oh, I give up, chat. That's weird. Let's move on. That doesn't cause what happens afterwards. I mean, this is an interesting start from Mr. Watt. We can add it to the list of things we need to talk to him about, perhaps. But then, yeah, so Mr. Blythe says, well, you can go up on the grass. I, too, can go on the grass. And then boff. Boff. So is it actually him who hits Enrico? I think it is, right? He hits Fraser and then there's a little tap on Enrico there. Yeah. There we go. So Enrico, who goes 4 wide into the first corner, and managed to keep it. This is all fine. Busy, a little bit of a touch there, but everyone keeps it together, and then boff. Now, the only thing I'd say here, Enrico, so what happened there, completely not your fault. You've been murdered by Mr. Blythe, and we'll see more of him in a second. And this happens quite quickly, but maybe you could hold your brake, because what happens is you roll back here and you don't start holding your brake until this point, and unfortunately Liam ends up over there. But it all happens quite quickly, so, and it's unfortunate for Liam, for Paul as well. I think you hit your brakes here and then that unsettles the car. Potentially if you just release the throttle, and don't apply any brake pressure, you're more likely to survive there, I think. Just kind of ride it out as opposed to slamming on the brakes, which then I think you are not Liam. No, you are Paul. Sorry. Yeah, that was unfortunate all round. I mean, it was on Mr. Blythe, unfortunately. All of that. Right, where am I going next? Let me just catch up to all this. Yes, we'll follow this through to the end of the lap. Because unfortunately... Now, to be fair, race 2, lap 1, the only murder was caused by David. He caused the murder at T1. He destroys that tyre barrier completely. And then he's going to cause some more murder, I think, at the final corner. Yes, you see that McLaren... We nearly causes some there. But there's a McLaren up ahead of Shane Crowther. So he launches it up the inside of Liam. Yeah, I mean... He does like weaving about the track, doesn't he? You're not going to send it up the inside there either. Like, well, he gets it done because unfortunately Liam goes wide, but... This isn't great. You're not entirely sure where he thinks he's going here. Other than into Mr. Crowther. He gets bashed by a Bentley for good measure. Yeah, so not a good lap 1 on race 2 for Mr. Blythe, unfortunately. Right. Just like the one I did on you in race 2. Did you do one in me? Did you... I know there was all sorts going on that final corner in race 2. At various points. I guess at some point tonight we'll get to that. We'll come to that too, Werther. Kenneth. Oh, you did dive it, you did. And I avoided... Yeah, yes, luckily I saw that one coming. So much happened, I forgot that happened. Yeah, you know, shit happens. Right. Where am I going now? Lap 5. Lots of stuff from Mr. Buttons in this one as we watch the David Blythe show. What do we think, chat? Who's that on? I think that's on Mr. Blythe again. Yeah. Good. Oh, see, we're agreeing on everything tonight, chat. Good. Okie doke. Oh, Harrison with the stop go 30 already. Did he speed in the pit lane after leaving the pits on X? Oh, Jesus. That's not been his night. Right, where is Hutton's? Lots of lap 5 stuff apparently with people. So let's watch your lap 5. So he has Felipe Morna behind him and Fraser Watt behind him. I'm not sure I see anything wrong with that from Felipe. Huttons has made a mistake. Felipe is well alongside, takes a very narrow... I don't think I have an issue with what Felipe's done there. Has missed it. Okay, it looks worse from that angle, to be fair. Hey Greg, how you doing? Oh. It's just a bit scrappy, isn't it? I still think I'm okay with the Warner move. And to be fair, Fraser comes off. Yeah. I can see why Huttons is kind of a bit grumpy about what happened, but I don't think there's anything massive there. Around the outside, this is all fine. Hang on, let's just watch that again. Oh, sorry, chat. Sorry, I was trying to read the spreadsheet and I missed it. It's a little. I'll allow it. It's fine. Bit of a dive. Yeah, no one. Yeah, I'm kind of okay. No, yeah, that's less good. I'm okay with what happened most of the previous lap. Hutton's made a mistake. Felipe Morna took advantage. They had a little tap, but you could argue Buttons could have left more room. Felipe was way up the inside. Fraser kind of got caught up in it. He came off the throttle. Not entirely sure what else he was supposed to do there. They had a couple of fights into the double hairpin. I have an issue with that dive. So I think that's the only bit I have an issue with, is that final dive. Fortunately, Hutton's kind of survives it, but yeah. You're never going to make a move into there like that. So I think the only one that would kind of... Maybe the first ones will go to the stewards, but I'd imagine they'd be racing incidents. That one would probably be action, that final one. You're feeling a ban for what? Yeah, we'll see how many points he ends up on, but he's probably not going to be far off, especially with all the flashing, as we saw in the previous race. Right. Oh, I just so happened to click onto the right person. Okay. So now we have lap 7. Van Elteren and Herman, so they're behind you. Okay. And then after that we've got a 16 and 19... 11, 16, 19. Okey-dokey. Right. So it's these two we're watching. Yeah, Lewis. I mean, things are still working their way through the stewards, so I can't comment too much, but I will just say a race ban is at 30 points. Just keep that in mind. You did, Elsric. Yep, I copy all the incident reports to give us more things to look at. He can't get much further on the inside there. I think that's kind of like the... Oh, there's Paul in the... Hi, Paul. What's happened to Paul? Oh, dear. Oh, God. Sorry, we'll come back, Osric. I don't know, Lewis. It's still going through the stewards, like I said. But there were quite a few incidents. Some of them not very good. Right, so you think his angle's off. that move was a bit iffy. Do you think his angle's a bit off? I mean, he's up the inside. No. Shouldn't these two races give half points each? Yeah, not in terms of penalty points. In terms of standings points, yes. And then what happens behind Mr. Herman? Oh, I'm not sure what else he's supposed to do there. He gives you space. That's unfortunate. Oh, that's a bad re-entry though. And again, we show the don't use unstable throttle application on the grass. Too much throttle, and then brakes. Yeah, I'll that's an SGP thing. It's you can't give half points for a race, so I need to go and manually change that once we've got all the stewards' reports in. So don't worry, it will be changed. It's a tough one, Osric, and I'm aware it's 9:10 already. I haven't started split 2. It's with the stewards, so I guess we'll see what Mr. Week, who's in chat, thinks of it, and Mr. Mackenzie. It's a tough one. I can see why you're miffed, but for me, it's on the line. I'd have to go look at steering inputs and shit, which we're not going to do right now. Right, 11 axletree. Where's Axel? And then we'll have a quick look at the standings halfway through. Right, lap 11. What do we have here? Got to go all the way to the last corner. Right. Okay. Down to the final hairpin. Hutton's buttons up the inside. That's interesting all round. Oh god. That's just a bit of a clusterfuck of a sorry. Cluster of a corner. I'm still getting used to it. Hi, more. Yeah, it's with the stewards, that one. What do we think of this one, chat? This is, I think, not on Van. So Van Eltron's the one at the head of this. Hutton's buttons is following him and dives massively and completely misses the corner, which pushes Van Eltron wide to not hit buttons, and then he cuts back. Itree's trying to then steal a couple of positions. I don't think this is on Van Eltron. No, I'm sorry, Axel. Unfortunately, I think... How close to the apex are you here? Not very. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, that's... I'm not sure what Van Eltron's supposed to do there. He's avoided one incident and then... Alright, let's keep it nice and calm in chat, please. It's with the stewards. Yeah, that's a massive dive from... And he avoids all of it. So yeah, that's caused by this massive dive. Where he's got nowhere near to the corner. Oh well. He's allowed to dive on the inside, I agree. But he's nowhere near the apex. Van Eltron's avoiding the dive. Axel should be a lot closer to the inside there if you're going to try and send it up the inside from a long way back. But that's... I don't think... Well, this is why stewarding is fun. I don't think that's fair game. I think Axel needs to be further to the left if you're going to do that. Van Eltron has been dived. He's cut back. And then suddenly Axel is there. So... This is why stewarding is so fun. because for a lot of incidents it's a bit of subjectiveness. Another one for you, Tom, to look at, I imagine. I imagine that's with the stewards. Both could have driven better. Again, for me, without going properly into steering inputs, I'm not sure I'd blame Van Elteren there. I could be wrong. Exactly, the apex is nowhere near him. If you're going to send it up the inside, stick to the apex. Keep it nice and tight. You can't just take what is your normal line through that, unfortunately. Right, so halfway through, Smaggles Gale leading the way again. Callum Mills Fry not taken out this time, is in P2. Stickfort P3, Reed P4, Idziak P5. James Terry P6, Yilmaz having a good race up in P7, Morna P8, Buttons P9, Van Elteren, Calgaro, Watt, Herman. Is that a dive on Calgaro? Yes, I think it is. Gets it done. Axel just behind. Osric, Enrico, Felipe down in 17th. Crowther, Slavchev, Blythe, Diro. Roberto! I've given him the commentator's curse. He's not in P6 as normal. He is 3 laps down, so he's got absolutely murdered somewhere or killed himself. You'll get sick of it, Tom. I can assure you, after 18 months of stewing I've been doing now, a lot of it's interesting. It's you see the same things again and again. A lot of it's borderline, and then some of the feedback we get is interesting, shall we say. Who is the split 2 steward? Me! Me and Robert Arlavi. Although for incidents I am involved in, Lewis, which there were a couple last night, I don't steward those. Greg will steward those because obviously I'm not a independent party when it comes to those. So yeah, whenever a steward is involved in an incident, they do not steward it, which hopefully makes sense. Right, lap 16. Lap 16. Apparently we're about to watch a good fight. And I'm split 2 steward this season because I wasn't actually expecting to be racing at all. But given what happened with the Queen, my last 2 Monday nights have been free, so I jumped in and raced a couple of races, but I won't be racing in the others unless someone else dies. Oh no, Enrico, you were on the wet fuel consumption. You can always talk about your crashes, Lewis. That's not a new thing. That's what the PC incident clarification page is for, which I'm pretty sure you use every time. So, but yeah, we will be having a chat. Don't you worry. Okay, we're just going to see what happens for the rest of this lap. He's not too far. With his sausage fingers, something's not quite right. It already has, Lewis. You've already done the stupid thing, so I'd rather you learn. Anyway, right, then we've got a couple of lap 19s. If it stops it happening in the future, we're happy to spend the time, but that's for you to show us it's going to stop happening in the future. But hopefully, as all drivers know, we're more than happy to talk about stewarding stuff and give feedback on all sorts of things if you want it and you take it in the right way. And stewarding is not easy. Sometimes you'll disagree, as I'm sure lots of drivers on this chat will Well, no, they haven't always agreed with stewards' reports and whatnot, as we see Liam there. That happens, unfortunately, but we're more than happy to talk through why we make the decisions we do. Christoffel with yes. Christoffel's way of saying he thinks the stewarding here is shit. Hey Liam, how you doing? We haven't even got to split 2 yet, so God knows how long we're going to be here for. I was told there were battles. There don't appear to be battles. Oh, we might get one down the start-finish line here. That was interesting. No, I know, I'm joking, Christoffel. Oh! Give me room! Give me room! All's fair in love and war. Hey Lisa, how you doing? Okay, and there's one more thing we need to look at here apparently. Is it this lap? Yes. Is it this lap? God, carnage! Alright. No, hang on, where's... behind it? Must have been before. Right, we are going to play Count the Flash. I don't think it's going to be as many flashes. But we saw what happened in race 1 between these two. Liam's in chat, not sure whether Yuri's here. From the minute he crosses the start-finish line. Okay, we can... What did we get to with Fraser? I think it was 12 flashes, wasn't it? Let's see how many flashes we get here. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, that's a view. Guys, I've lost... Yep. Right. Right. I'll get... Hang on. Give me a chance here, chat. Okay. Right. Here we go. How many do we think? Yeah, I can't wait to stream night races. We need Conrad, if you're in chat, stop putting night races. It's bad for streaming. 1. Okay. Fraser Watt is still ahead at this point. Still on 1. 2. What track is next? Watkins Glen. He also has someone right behind, doesn't he? Still on 2. 3. We're gonna get to 6 by the end of that period. There's 4. 5. And out the inside. Okay. Not as bad as what we saw earlier, but also not great. Well, that's with the stewards, isn't it, Liam? I think. And you'll be delighted to know, Liam, that chat decided you were not at fault for the race 1 incident. So there we go. But you were definitely at fault for the hairpin incident. But yeah, unfortunately, that flashing, which while not great, five in a lap. At least he was doing it to a car he was trying to lap, as opposed to Fraser Watt in lap 1, who was 2 laps down and flashed the car ahead of him 12 times in 1 lap. So, yikes. Are we going to see a double win? Yeah, I agree, Tom. I think the race 1 was at dawn, wasn't it? Here, it looked really good. Is Smaggersgale? Has he won again? Let's get to the end here. He has. Yeah, I think he's kept... Oh, Callum has a drive-through as well. Ouch. On the last... When did he get that? Hang on. Did he get the chicane? No, how do you get a drive-through at the hairpin? Ah, okay, no. Okay, it's come from the chicane. Okay. Oh, that's harsh. That is harsh. Another car parked. Oh, that's Enrico run out of fuel on the left there, ladies and gentlemen. So close, one corner away. But a double win for James. Well done, James. Congratulations. Callum just behind, but he's going to lose a bunch of time because of that drive-through, unfortunately. Yuri bringing it home. He's going to get P2, I imagine, after the incident with, well, the drive-through for Callum. So well done, Yuri. Ryan Reed P4, probably up to P3. Sebastian P5. Morna Yilmaz. Nice to see Gabriel not really involved in much after his round 1 shenanigans, so that's good to see. James Terry, Hunt's Buttons. Van Elteren. Oh, this is a good battle. We'll just watch this one get over the line. I'm imagining that, Tom, that's because that tyre stack is no longer there, but in the replay it just doesn't disappear. So Herman gets Van Elteren. Axel Itri keeps Calgaro just behind. Osric not far behind that, followed by Felipe Diaz. Fraser Watts. Shane Crowther. Boyan Slavchev. David Blythe not far behind. Busy lap 1 from David. Liam, Enrico, and Paul. Right, we're halfway through. Shit, I lost it. It was. Oh, sorry, Mo. We're going to have to move on because it's nearly 9:30 and I haven't even started Split 2 yet. Absolutely shocking. Right. Who got pole? Normally Lorenzo joins just when I start looking at Split 2, so 30 seconds until Lorenzo joins chat. Lap 8. Probably this one. Oh, we don't want to watch me. We do not want to watch me, I can tell you that much. I can tell you that much. We want to watch the guy behind me. Where is he? Here he is. There we go. Hello, Lorenzo. I knew you'd be about. Right. Finally starting Split 2 at 9:30. Where there was not a hint of rain in any of the 3 sessions. That's very fitting, Lorenzo. So I'm pretty sure this is your pole lap. Oh, God, the turning on that Porsche. And there's me fucking up another qualifying lap. Poor old me. I like Donington as a track. It's grown on me a lot. I am not very quick at it. It's a bit like Brands used to be with me. There we go. That's pole for Lorenzo. Let's get straight into race 1, shall we? That one. So, something we need to look at here is that what tyres is Tommy Atkins on? So it's a greasy start, but it is dry. So, as you can see, I'm quite near the back there. Probably wasn't the pole lap well because of that last corner. Yeah, it's hard to get the exact one, and I'm not going to spend half an hour looking for the pole lap, to be honest. I'm sure Lorenzo is more interested in seeing his race 1 anyway. So, Lorenzo on pole. I think there was some rain in Split 1, although I can't say for sure. If there's a Split 1 driver in chat, they can let us know. It rained at Quali in Split 3, I think. Try everywhere. Good. Clausen, the sprint race specialist in P2. Tommy Atkins, who unfortunately lost all his setup somehow between qualifying and the race, and put on wet tyres for this race. So he won't be up there for long. Greg up in P4. Eric in P5. Evo P6. Shaq is back. He's P7. Bruno Fantozzi P8. Declan Brogan P9. Simon Westerow P10. Mr. Utovic P11. Gilles Samoe P12. Bradley P13. Weideman P14. Balchik P15. Hugavine P16. Tom Week 17th. Brunchy Boy, your P18. Craig Fairweather P19. Thomas Taylor P20. Jeffrey Witter 21. Lewis Kett P22. I think that's Mr. Fernandez in 23. Napich 24. Verboven 25. Yours truly P26. That's Mr. Werther P27. Oh no, who's that one? Oh, I was doing so well. That is... Sorry, I just need to take a drink. It's Mr. Texera, new driver in P28. Richard Mazan, P29. Halabach, P30, excuse me. Bazari, P31. And Darko Balatinets in P32. Okay, well, I got most of the drivers. I'm getting there. I'm getting there in round 3. Right. Hubba, hubba, hubba. Let's get some movement. Right, where do I need to look first? I need to look on the right tab to begin with. Yes. So, lap 1 of race 1 for Split 2 is the Thomas Taylor show. So much like we had the David Blythe show in Split 3 and the Fraser Watt show, we've now got the Thomas Taylor show. So we'll go on board with him. We'll watch his lap 1 and then we'll go back and watch specifics in other things. We need to watch Christoffel start as well. I mean, this is always a good sign. Yeah, making Split 3 look positively on top of things at the moment here. Split 2. Get ready. What is this? I didn't actually realise this had happened. Lewis, what are you doing? Why so slow, Dave? What, just in general? Did you... How did you not realise you were inside someone, Lewis? Where are the lights? I need to go back a bit. Red. Like, see, I need to be careful here, but he was way off his spot, yes. But you should not be inside someone when the race starts. And Lewis had time to get out of that. But anyway, we'll move on. We're focusing on Thomas anyway. So that was partly on Thomas. Doesn't get better. So I think we get a boop. Oh, there's one boop. Poor old Jeffrey. I mean, this is... Yeah. So obviously we looked at a bit of stuff like this in the Split 3. I haven't actually looked at this, whether he tries to catch the snap oversteer or not. He does. Poor old Jeffrey Witter, though. Minding his own business up the inside. And then gets absolutely murdered. Boff! Swatted like a fly. That's very unlucky. Unfortunately for Jeffrey, probably on the side of a racing incident. We'll see. This one probably not quite so much, as Thomas yonks it up the inside, sticks his nose where it does not belong. But you also have who was that? That's Richard Mazan. I think he just lost it by himself, but we'll double. No, it's not Richard Mazan. Okay, Mr. Reed. God, I've confused drivers again, chat. It got me in big trouble last week. Oh no, that's a touch by Fairweather. Yeah, so again, this is a tough one. Who's this on? It's a bit like the one we saw earlier with Liam. Alexander does very well to get out of that, actually. Woohoo! Yikes. Okay, and then we'll watch. What's the last one here? We'll go back and watch your start, Christoffel, as well, once we've... Because I started next to you, and in both races, by the time we got halfway through the lap, you were like 6 places ahead of me. It's very annoying. Yeah, I'm not sure. I disagree, Alexander. We'll see something later on that. And here we have a little bumpy boo from Thomas Taylor up the inside. He's come from a long way back, and a bit like what we saw earlier with Axel. If you're going to take the inside from further back, please stay to the inside. Don't do this and just drift wide. So that's a bump and pass. That's what I've been doing wrong all this time, Christoffel. The throttle pedal. One day I'll learn. But let's go back and watch your start, shall we? We can all bask in the glory of Christoffel Verboven here, everybody. Here we go. 1. To be fair, Witcher is killed for him. And I think Tommy Taylor as well. So he avoids that. Here we go. Hulk smash. Boff. And there's going to be a couple. Oh, there we go. That's that one. Get through there. Oh. There we go. Blocked him off. You're not getting through there, son. Oh. And then I'm assuming you get more places when he does his thing at the hairpin as well. Look at that. I should have just gone with Christoffel from the start. We would have seen all the incidents from his from his view. You're going to dive him? Yeah, you're not going to dive him. There we go. Very sensible, Christoffel. Thank you. Okay, where are we going next? Lap 8. You're gonna dive it. You're gonna dive it. That's fine. Very nice. Is Gilles gonna fight it? No, you leave him space. Very good. Right, here we have a battle between Mr. Brunch and Mr. Week. Yeah, unfortunately I was a bit further back, Christoffel, so didn't get to take advantage quite as much. It's towards the end, is it? Okay. I hate that hairpin. I lose so much time to everybody else in that hairpin, and I do not know why. There we go, staying to the inside. See, this is what I'm talking about. We'll use... There we go. Come to the front of the class, Alexander. Now, this is a bit of a dive, but it's completely under control because look how narrow Alexander stays here. And he leaves space on the exit. That's fine. If you're going to do that, that's what you need to do. And Tom was well aware as well, gave space, and then he's going to find him down, and he's giving up the position there. Yep, that's alright. I don't have a problem with that. Do not have a problem with that one at all. Very nice. We've got an Eric Megaro YOLO double overtake to look at next. Okay, here we go. Lap 12. Tell you what, I'm not sure whether Declan... Is it Declan Brogan? Yeah, Declan's in chat. He had a couple of chats with the stewards last year about moving under braking and things like that. I have been very impressed so far this season by Declan. Don't ruin it now, Declan, by doing something silly. Oh, I enjoy that. Okay, yeah, that's very good. Is that Utovic? Yeah, Utovic is probably the one who gives a little bump here where he doesn't need to. Yeah, maybe it's close. And Eric gets 2 places. Very nice. Just kind of throughout the race. Now down to D4. I've decided to be a big fat idiot. Okay, so we'll watch this first, Alexander, and then we'll watch one. We're about to see something, chat. Not this one, but the next one. That at the time made me very angry, as Greg will attest to if he's in chat. But looking back, I'm not quite so sure, so I'll be interested to see what you think. It's often the way with incidents where when it happens, you're like, oh my god, how can this person be such a fucking idiot? And, you know, dare I say it, what a knob, you know. Oh, yes, the old, oh no! Ow. I thought you controlled that. What happens? Oh, back on the throttle too much. Yeah, just a bit too much throttle. Yeah, I thought you'd collected it, but it's just that little bit of throttle there, and you come something that is. Oh. Is it Fernandez who gets the big hit? That's what I'm saying. Knob with the silent B. The first B silent. Okay, that's unfortunate. So then I think I'm following this. Yes, I am. Up to the lofty heights of P17. And I think something. It's actually you. Oh, so it's the. Oh, you lose it again. So this is. So I know who to blame. It's all your fault, Alexander. No, I'm joking. So yeah, I think you take the kink here, but the car's just not having it, right? Yeah, it just goes. And then I'm behind this with Texero. I'm like, oh god, I don't know what's happening. Like, because you're off. I don't know. I thought he was about to hit you. I didn't know whether you were going to slip back on. and Craig just yoinks me. Now, looking back, I'm like, he doesn't have a lot of time to react to kind of me reacting to what's happening in front of me. But he's so close. I was very angry at the time. P17 said, living the dream. I did get a podium last year when I was actually practicing. I'm actually not sure that's on Craig. I think he's maybe a little close, but I'm reacting to what's in front of me and I'm not entirely sure whether he can see it. Yeah, one of those things. But I was miffed. Because there was lots of time penalties in this race, so I was actually on for potentially like a top 10 finish if I kept making progress. But there we go. So we're over halfway through. Lorenzo leading the way on the way to his first win at PLR. He's having a very strong season so far, closely followed by Seb. Greg finally having a good race this season. He's had the pace every race. He's just been caught out for one thing or another. So very happy. My driver swap teammate, Mr. Ellis, had a very strong race. 2 races last night, so P3 in this one. So I think it was Alexander who said in chat, like, he thinks Craig is quite an aggressive driver, which I agree with. I think that led to my reaction at the time, because I was like, oh, of course, I've been hit by, yeah, he was behind me for a few laps, and I was waiting for it almost. Anyway, Evo and Bruno having a good fight. Let's just watch this into the happen and see if anything happens. Bruno trying to cut back, but Evo's going to be long gone by then. Eric in P6, Utovic P7, Brogan P8, Simon is there in P9, Shaq P10, Tom Week P11, closely followed by Fernandez, who seems to have recovered from that hit with Alexander quite well. Christoffel P13, Gilles P14, and then Bernardo, Mr. Fairweather, Thomas Taylor, Bradley, Darko, Jeffrey, recovering quite nicely after his T1 well, not his shenanigans, but the shenanigans he was caught up in. Napic, Hugovin, Bolchik, myself, taking the hairpin poorly again. Kenneth, Luca, Adnan, Alexander's in the pits. Vitamin's 2 laps down. Lazan's in the pits. Ket's in the pits. It's not every week Bruno is fair either. Bruno has been in plenty of... so this is what happened to Lewis. Ooh, you gonna go straight into the pits, or? I mean, you haven't damaged yourself there. Okay. I mean, you haven't hit a wall. Something else now? Had damage previously, okay. And then coming out at the end, was that just to get points? Because I noticed you came out like in front of the leaders, which wasn't ideal. Anyway, let's go back to other people. Right, so we're gonna... I haven't actually been given anything else to look at in this race, so we're just gonna wildly click around for a bit and see some close battles towards the end. So I think we're on the last lap now for Lorenzo. You've got Clausen 2 seconds behind him. Greg just behind. Evo, a solid P4. Bruno still right behind him. Eric just behind. So some good battles all the way down here. Simon saying hello to the grass. Hello grass. Shaq P10. Tom P11. Fernandez still around him. Verboven following as well. Samoe, Bernardo, Craig. Bradley had a little off at some point. Can't quite tell where in here. Victor. Mr. Hugavine. Darko. There I am. Oh, 21st. Living the dream. Bazari, Werther. Napic. Halabach. Witter. Taylor. Weideman. Brunch. Mazan in the pits. Ket out again. Tommy in the pits as well. So we're going to see Lorenzo win. Very smart, Christoffel. That's what I was trying to do as well. Until I got shoved out the way. Is this the fun? It is. Well done, Lorenzo. Congratulations on your first win at PLR. Well deserved. I'm sure it won't be the last. Until I move you up to split 1 anyway. Sebastian P2. Greg, a very solid P3. Evo P4. Bruno P5. Megaro P6. Utovic P7. Very close behind. Brogan P8. Westro P9. Then you got Shaq, Week, Fernandez, Verboven. I guess, Christoffel, you finished a bit higher up in the end because of the penalties. Yeah, you get P11. Samoe P12, Week P13. Shaq P14. Bernardo P15. Fairweather 16th. Bradley 17th. Victor 18th. Darko 19th. Solid P20 from me. Luca P21, Kenneth P22, Witter P23, Napic P24, Hugavine 25th, Halabach, Taylor, Weideman, Brunch, and then Ket brings up the rear. Right, let's watch race 2. It's only 10 to 10, flying through it. You are not just quick at the moment, Lorenzo. You are annoyingly consistent. Well, I've always known you've been consistent because of the races we had last season. I'm not sure. I think that academy session with Conrad has probably knocked, 5/10 a lap off consistently. You are very quick, my friend, and very consistent. It's very good to see. Enjoy split 2 while you can. Right. Race 2. Dry again. What have I got here? Yeah. Oh, there's a few to look at on lap 1 here, so we'll get there. Yeah, so there you go. If you want to start winning races, get a session at the PLR Academy and help fund us running all the practice servers and whatnot. Right. Oh! busy. Should we just... Christ, that's always what you want to see as well. Should we see Christoffel disappear into the distance again? Oh! I didn't hit you. Someone hit Napic. Nearly hit you. Right, we have Clausen. Sorry, I missed this. Here we go. So Let's do this properly, shall we? Oh, very nice! I like this a lot. Oh, bravo! Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Very good, Seb. Like that a lot. Yeah, that was good. Greg, is it lap 1 you do your little dive? I'm not sure whether you're on mute, but I'll stick with you. Can I do Morse code maybe to get you to talk to me? I know there was a little dive which ended up you giving the place back to Lorenzo later. Was it here? Might be lap 2. Because I'm pretty sure it was at the it might have been here actually. Actually, looking back on it, what do we think, chat? Has he squeezed his way in there? Or is this okay? I know at the time Greg thought, oh, that's a bit much. And I think he actually ends up giving the place back to Lorenzo later in the race when Lorenzo catches up to him. Turns out, Greg, you could have had 2 podiums. You're too kind. Okay, let's go back to lap 1. Yeah, I think when I first saw it last night, I was a bit like, oof. But actually, looking back, it doesn't actually look that bad. I think the space is there. Okay, who am I else? I'm looking at Mr. Fairweather. Okay, Mr. Fairweather, where are you? Woof, Jeffrey. That's not how you do it, sir. Oof. And carnage behind. Jesus. Yeah, this one's a little unfortunate. It's a little tap. Greg is legend. Yes, Greg is indeed legend. Where should we watch this from? It's a. Oh, hang on, I've missed it. No, I'm too far back. Everybody. I thought he was closer. Maybe I'll watch it from. Let's watch it from Hoogeveen. Where's Mr. Hoogeveen? It's so unlucky. I mean, but if it's on anyone, it's on Craig. Lewis just launches it through there, does he? Oof. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. There was one slightly further up that I need to look at, which is interesting. So yes, chat. Thoughts on this one? They just ghosted, yeah. I'm amazed both of their engines didn't get absolutely ruined by that. I mean, that... Okay, so the second part to this is this is a bad rejoin, unfortunately, by Bruno. Poor old Mr. Hoogeveen. Where is he? He's been caught up in the fair weather brunch crash through no fault of his own. And then he gets squeezed between Ket and Fantozzi through no fault of his own. That's a lap one for you. Yeah, that is not a great rejoin, unfortunately. I think the rejoin's pretty clear cut that that's bad. The bit before, it's with the stewards, we'll see. What else am I missing here? Just a bonkers clusterfuck out of the last corner. Oh, we'll have a look at that. And then we have Hoogeveen and Werther. Okay, there's a few things to look at here. Where is my friend? Who I always seem to end up around on track at the moment. Mr. Bolchik. Yes, another one. Hang on, chat. Tell me what you think about this one. Tap to pass or door to door? Bad internet. Okay. Interesting. That one's with the stewards. It's an interesting one. We also have poor old Mr. Hoogeveen again. When does this happen? Does this happen at chicane? Oh. That's it. Who'd be a steward, chat? Who's this on? Definitely on Hoogeveen. Not sure about that. He has to start turning for the corner at some point. You can't just go straight. But and apparently there's carnage out the last corner, so let's see what happens. But someone was the inside. Well, yeah, but like he still has to turn at some point. Like he can't. Like the car on the inside maybe needs to start turning earlier. Like. Anyway, that's with the stewards as well. Apparently there was a clusterfuck out the last corner. Have I got the wrong lap? Yes, lap 2 apparently. Sorry, my bad. I think we've seen everything on that one. Defo not on me. The standard driver reply. To be fair, nothing else on that lap was on you, Eric. Personally, I'm not convinced that's on you either, but it's with the stewards. So what do we... Ah, yes. Is this Mr. Napic hitting? It is. Oh, no. It is. Ooh. I didn't realise this at the time. It's Mr. Werther hitting Mr. Napic. Oh, and then Fairweather. And then... Oh, God! Oh, no! What's going on back here? Oh, was that... Now this is where there's a clusterfuck and everybody's trying to take advantage at the same time and there's only so much track. Oh, that's Okay, that's... Oh, God, that gets worse. Right, hang on. Hang on, chat. I didn't realise this happened. Oof. Oh. Oh. God. Right, let's try and break that down, shall we? We got Mazan, Witter, and who's that? Who's Halavach? Yeah, Halavach. They all come together. Halavach is punted. Brunch hits Mazan through no fault of his own. Then we get this thing. So we've got who's coming around the back there? Is that no? Oh, it's Eric. Why is Eric all? What's happened to? Oh, because Eric had the. Yeah. God. Okay, I'll come back to you in a second. So then, Eric's coming round, and then Jeffrey's in the middle of them. So Jeffrey's trying to get out of the way of Eric, but turns into Richard, who's kind of there doing his own thing. Oh, oh God. That's gonna be fun to unravel. God. Oh! What's that? What is... Oh, he's full throttle for so long there. Incident. Hang on, sorry, I just need to... Sorry. Full throttle. This is happening ahead. Full throttle. Still full throttle. Only now does he stop. Oh my God. And he gets away with it. How? Oh. That is so lucky. That is so lucky that he's got away with that. Not only not hit a car, but he's managed to not completely lose control and just like swipe the wall on the right hand side. Yikes. Well, that was interesting. So in this race we had, I think, yeah, Clausen and Tommy Atkins pretty much between 1 and 2 seconds between them for the whole race. Greg just behind. Lorenzo's down to 5th here, but I think he gets past Shaq at some point. I think Shaq may hit Greg at some point as well, from memory. But we're going to go back to Mr. Brunch. This is why people need to put things in the watch party, because if you put it, I'm going to look at it, and I can't guess what all of these things are. So apparently, this is blatant moving under braking. So we shall see. I'm not sure when in the lap it happens. So Napich ahead, Brunch behind. Look at me, solidly P20 again. Actually, had a really good kind of race-long battle in 3 separate stages with Mr. Hugaveen throughout this. We'll come to the conclusion of that on the last lap. Okay, all okay so far. Yeah, let's not Sannel. To be fair, Marquez would be at the front, so wouldn't be anywhere near me, so he's welcome to it. I might have a chance. I've had some comings together with Mr. Marquez in the past as well, when there was 2 splits and I was in split 1. It was well, some drivers are just naturally aggressive, not necessarily in a bad way, but sometimes it ends badly. And that is kind of the line into that corner, and he kind of starts turning before he brakes and then he gets out of it. No harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. He gets out of the way of you, he sees you coming. A lot worse things happened. That's kind of the way into that corner. I don't think he's necessarily trying to block you there, Alexander. And when he sees you coming, he goes the other way. So we can say that about a lot of drivers, Sanel, unfortunately. Some drivers just never learn. Right, lap 10. Oh, yeah, not a great race for Igor, unfortunately. Where is Mr. Westerer? So what are we doing? Lap 10 with Mr. Brogan. Alright, the master of the self-report is back. So let's see what Simon does this time. I'm not sure he moved reactionary to you diving on the inside. I'm not sure I agree with that. Otherwise he wouldn't have gone back the other way. I'm not sure I completely agree with that. But anyway, if it's with the stewards, we'll look at it in more detail there. Right then, Simon, where do you lose it? Last turn. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Fortunately, you've mainly killed yourself there. I mean, you've just gone deep and missed the apex. So. Declan. See, this is where Declan's improved. He's given you room on the outside. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Look at it from your point of view. Okay. Renzo, can you give me a lap? No, nicely avoided. Lap 11 with Simon again. If you give me a lap, Lorenzo, I'll have a look. I'm just going to look at this next lap. Is Simon self-reporting again on this lap? Oh, Simon. Let's try and find it. Guessing it's into the chicane. No, not into the chicane. Oh. Yup. And then you've been turned for good measure. Yep. A little lesson for everyone. If you feel you're going deep, try and get to the outside, not to the inside. Not always possible. But if you get to the outside, you are far less likely to punt people. And they can more easily get out of your way. That's unfortunate, Simon. Shit happens. Neither of them malicious. Just outbroke yourself twice. But yeah, not your best full lap there, unfortunately. Right. I'll pop to Lorenzo because I think after this I've basically got the last. Oh, I haven't done. Unfortunately, I've missed something there. But anyway, let's figure out when you got past him, shall we? Quite early on, so somewhere around here. Very nice. The old make them make a mistake into the chicane and get the better drive out of it and beat them down to the hairpin. He didn't put it. No, Lewis. The only thing we're going to see with you on tonight is what happens on the last lap. There are other things potentially with the stewards. Okay, and then so let's flick through here before we go to the last lap. So Sebastian leading the way from Tommy Atkins. I jumped all the way back here. It should be up here somewhere. So Sebastian leading the way from Tommy Atkins. Again, you know, always about a second between them. Lorenzo's back up to P3. Greg in P4. Shaq in P5. Zorcic P6. Utovic P7. You did. I've seen video, Lewis. Lewis Kett P8. Brogan P9. Gallant P10. Verboven 11. Week 12, Samoe 13, Taylor 14, quieter race for Thomas. Fernandez 15, Hugavine 16th. Being followed by me again. Victor P18, Brunch 19, Westro 20, Bazzari 21st. Weather 22nd, Balatinat 23rd, Fairweather 24th, Megaro 25th, Fantozzi, Witter, poor old Jeffrey, no fault of his own in both races. Weideman P28, Texera, and Halabach back in the pits. Right, so we're going to watch Sebastian cross the line. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, who's that down there? Someone's just given up. Down there, but they don't want to do another lap. Fair enough, but let's watch Sebastian cross the line for what? Is this your third win at PLR, Sebastian? All in sprint races. But congratulations to you. Really good. Tommy Atkins just half a second behind. Tresoldi P3, Greg P4, Shaq P5, Evo P6, Utovic 7th, Brogan, Gallant, Verboven, Weak, Samoe, Fernandez. So Lewis Kett at this point had a drive-through, and then we're gonna watch me not do a brilliant bit of driving, but so this is me and Mr. Hugavine having a battle. Sorry, I don't know how to say your first name, so I'm calling you by your surname. So I thought I had to run on him here. Unfortunately, I'll go a little bit deep, lock up, and then what you'll see is I lift, give him the place back, put my hazards on. Sorry, buddy. So this is the final lap of the final corner of the final lap coming up to. I was like, bugger. I've not got that done properly, but that's okay. I'll still get P15. What I'll do is I'll follow him round the outside of the final corner. All good. Victor was kind of up the inside. You can see there's a purple car here. But I was like, well, Victor will dive up the inside, but I'll be around the outside and I'll get the power down sooner, and I'll still finish P15. I don't finish P15. What makes it worse, Lewis, is then you just drive off and take the checker flag ahead of all these other people. Yeah. I mean, Simon's loving it. He gets straight up the inside, so he gains a couple of positions. Bazzari gets me. I think Werther gets me as well. Still got my hazards on. No, I mean, not malicious, but it's a stupid thing to do into the last corner of the last lap. It's a hell of a dive into a final corner. And we're not going to get into it in the stream, but there has been some videos of other incidents throughout the 2 races that have been sent across. So, like we saw with, I think, Mr. Watt in Split 3, there are going to have to, unfortunately, be a couple of chats happening with a couple of drivers. But we'll wait until all the stewarding's been done and we'll do it properly. Anyway, is what it is. That's racing sometimes, so we'll go through the same process as everything else. It's 20 past 10. I've been streaming for nearly 2.5 hours. I need some dinner. Thank you everyone for joining, and Lewis, fair play to you for showing up. We'll work through this constructively, and we'll see if we can, all get better in the long run. That's what, if people make mistakes, it's absolutely fine. It's as long as you're willing to learn and actually show that you've learned as well. Evo knows he got quicker very quickly, and then had some issues trying to get his racecraft up to the same level as his speed. It comes. Congratulations to the winners. I think we had double James Smagglesgale, and then we had Lorenzo Drisoldi and a Sebastian Clausen in Split 2. So next week we are at Watkins Glen. So I will see you next Tuesday. I will be also streaming this Thursday. God forbid. If there's any drivers left, they might have all quit. But yeah, I'll be doing the multiclass this Thursday from Alton Park. So come watch some carnage and me using this button a lot. So yeah, that should be fun. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'll speak to you soon.